drawing that has the loops, and we spent a little time, and that's a bit exaggerated. But if we agree that breaking the horizontal plane is the way we create our radius, then we have to get above the horizontal plane with enough space and time. Now there's that quote about how this process is a time-space activity. The screen says that. That's what that means. You know, your tempo is the product of the space you travel and the time in which you travel. It's like miles per hour. You know? So you've got to have enough distance between icti, and you do. It's just real horizontal now as opposed to any element of buoyancy. Okay, remember when we bounced the ball? Here, everybody, if your right hand is handy, bounce the ball for a minute. And Megan, yeah, do this too as well. Now, think about just bouncing the ball toward the wall over yonder. It's right for the ensemble, left for Megan. See how that just changes the, well, off the floor. Some of you are like throwing the ball right at the wall. You're bouncing the ball off the floor toward the wall. So it's on a one hop, right? And then follow through that and then bounce the ball off the other wall. Some of you are not very sports oriented, are you? You're bowing a string instrument now. Some people are like sawing right here. This is not going to get a ball. We're going to bounce the ball this way, and then we're going to bounce the ball that way. We have to, you're making a big ellipse. All right, bounce it straight up and down for a moment. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And now add the ellipse. Just change to the ellipse. Okay, now just take a moment, and if you can't see me, we're bouncing the ball, and then we're bouncing it off that wall, and then we're bouncing it off this wall, and then we're bouncing it straight up, and then we're bouncing it straight up, and then we're bouncing it off that wall, and then this wall, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm getting at is, Megan, you looked a little, and I'll exaggerate a bit, but you were a bit 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You see the difference? If I'm never above the horizontal plane, I can't break it, right? If we get above that surface of the water or whatever analogy helps you. And I like the bouncing of the tennis ball because if we took that tennis ball off the floor without receiving it in a rebound, it's going to bounce off of our hand. Our hand would be too rigid. We can't accept the ball into our hand, right? If you played any sports ever where you have to receive a ball, if you played infield, softball or baseball or anything, if you held your glove hand rock hard and still, the baseball will bounce off of that glove every time. I mean, you might get lucky 1 out of 100 times that you, in that millionth of a second, squeeze it. But what baseball players do is that ball's coming in toward the glove. They're moving the glove away in a gesture with the ball. You receive the ball and work through and throw it to the next base. Because we have to be less rigid. Okay? Yep, everybody's going to do twice, and then I'm really going to have to just kind of crank people through, and I'll say thank you quite a bit. Let you do it once, take a moment to think about it, do it again. I'll say thank you, and then you have your video. And Will's going to tell us a little bit more about that at the end of class today. So, please. Tip up, please. There. 1/4. Now, check this out. Now, you're not making any different gesture here in the baton and in the right hand on any beat. I like this analogy, but it's getting harder and harder for you guys because it's been so many years since there were these inkjet printers. And see, if you remember those at all, then see the ink was spit out of the end of the printer and it used to move across the page. So the printer didn't do anything different in any space left to right on the page. It did the same thing, but it had a mechanism that moved it from left to right across the page. And that's what we have. And that's what we do. Your wrist and tip make the same motion. The shoulder and elbow simply just move it around your horizontal plane, moves it around your frame. So this could be an interesting game. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And you want to feel nothing different in the tip and the wrist when you're just bouncing the ball than when you're making a pattern. 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I'm holding my shoulder here just because that helps me feel that mechanism get active in the pattern. 3, 4. I'm really changing nothing, even in my elbow, really. It's all shoulder. Maybe a little in my elbow, but very little, right? Okay? Zach? Boy, Clevenger's mean, huh?
Yeah. He was doing the tea time yesterday.
He was what?
Doing the tea time.
Yeah, I figured, I figured there'd be something there. Is he mean?